Welcome back into another episode of Top Shelf presented by Enterprise. Big trips, sudden detours, or last minute plans, whatever it is, we're here for it. Fellas, we are here today to predict the future.
Of course.
That's the plan on today's episode. We're basically exactly halfway through the NHL season. And so what we're going to do is predict the second half of the NHL season, which also includes the Olympics, of course. But we've got a lot still that's coming in the second half. We've got the Olympics, we've got trade deadline, playoff races, everything. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some bold predictions. And I would be remiss if I didn't begin the episode with our very first episode going back to that. Because we did something similar. We did something similar. John was out of the room when I told these guys about that, so he doesn't know what's coming here.
I'm afraid of mine. My takes were really bad.
Do you remember what you said?
One was about Soros.
Okay. Well,
I think like the next week it had already aged poorly, so it's not looking too hot.
So I'm gonna bang these off quickly just to show we're a podcast, we're a show of honesty and
we
integrity.
keep ourselves accountable.
Integrity.
Keep ourselves accountable. And, let's hope that maybe these ones that we make today are a little bit better. We've got two from Aiden, who unfortunately is not with us anymore, so Josh is here to replace
Did he pass away?
To be clear, he just moved away. He's not dead.
He's not with the show anymore. Sorry, Aiden. I hope you're watching that, so you get to see that. Josh, I hope you have some better takes than what he had, though. He had... The Leafs are a wild card team, which actually is pretty solid,
pretty good.
But it was kind of like in a reverse manner where it's like...
It was very negative.
They're coming down instead of, they're going to make it.
Now the Leafs will take that.
Yes.
And he had that this year's rookie defenseman class will be the best ever.
Wow.
It's also looking...
Not like
Schaefer
not the
never
top
did.
end. Keep in mind, this is a Calgary Flames fan talking here,
Yes.
so it was a lot of Zane Pratt.
And then John's two takes here. UC Saros will be a defining goalie of the year. Don't
That's a rough
know if his campaign so far has been defining or
Let's
not.
wait till after the Olympics.
At the Olympics,
It could be
I don't
defined
think
in
it's
a
happening.
certain way, I guess.
Hey, if you win Olympic
negative
gold.
defining.
And then you know what? This one I'll give you credit because he actually got hurt. Frank Nazar will lead sophomores in scoring. So
Okay.
if he didn't get hurt, would he be right there with Celebrini?
Probably. Maybe. Either way, I was trying to be bold, and I think I tried to be too bold.
That was
is what
pretty
happened
bold.
there.
And then
Okay.
Overthought it.
I think Kyle probably had the best resume of takes here.
shocker.
Schaefer will be on the Olympic team, which at the time you made that
should be.
It was a week in. Like that was a week of Matthew Schaefer, and for you to say that, and I think there's a great case for him to be.
The framing was should be, right?
I think
agree.
so.
So I think that's
Yes.
come true.
And then to round us out, Jet Greaves will be top 5 in Vezina voting.
He's been good recently.
He has had. I think he's 14th in save percentage right now.
Okay.
Top 20 in goals against. So he's been solid.
Watch the Blue Jackets second half. It's coming.
It's coming. But so yeah, we've got 6 takes.
I'll
here.
take that, honestly. I'll take that.
Those
split.
are solid. I like the Schaefer one a lot, to be honest. So I don't know what that means exactly for what you guys are going to get into today, but we've got 6 more for the second half of the NHL / year of hockey here, predicting future headlines. So we framed this in a manner of you open up the news at the end of the season or maybe at the end sometime in the summer, boom, this is what we're going to read. I'm excited to get into it. We'll start with you, Josh. Your first future headline. Time to tell the future. What do you have for us?
I've got the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers missing the playoffs entirely this year.
Okay.
They're not in a playoff spot right now, but I'm sure the betting odds would say they're more likely to make it than miss it at this point. But I just don't see it happening. This team has played 68 playoff games over the last 3 years, basically an entire full season. And when you factor in the physical demand of playoff hockey, you could argue maybe that's 2 seasons. Sergei Bobrovsky has played in basically all those playoff games. He's 37 years old. He's having a rough year. I don't know if he's going to turn it around. They don't have cap space to make a big deadline push. They don't have a lot of assets either. So I just don't see it happening this year.
Well, and Matthew Tkachuk hasn't played, right? And it's great to get excited about him coming back, but what does he look like? I mean, he could be fine, but he could.
I don't think he's going to be some savior. I don't think he can
he's not a
bank on that
Barkov where
anyway.
you're like, oh, the ceiling is through the roof now. Another thing was I was looking it up the other day. From January 5th to February 6th, so 31 days, they play 16 games, 11 on the road. So this stretch before the Olympics is pretty hectic, and then they have 9 guys going to the Olympics. So what do they look like after the Olympics? Like, where are they in the standings? Is there another guy injured? Like, it's possible. You got 9 guys. Probably one of them's getting injured if we're being honest.
That's
right?
a great point with the Olympics.
I would say the pressure points on the Panthers are pretty severe right now.
I think the argument for the Panthers making it in is the fact that they are getting Tkachuk back, and they've kind of at least treaded water without him. And with so many injuries, of course, their 2 best players at forward being out of the lineup. So if Tkachuk can come back and can make that impact earlier on, like they're 5 points out right now or something like that, like in and around that versus like the Atlantic Division, which is a factor as well. Like there's a chance that all those Atlantic teams are in the mix and push that line even further. I'm still backing the Panthers until they give me a reason not to believe. But at the beginning of the season, we were like, it's inevitable. They're going to get in and everything. But at this point of the season, it's looking, I think, a little bit sketchier than probably expected.
I think it is. It does qualify as a bold opinion, too, because I just looked it up. The Panthers currently to make the playoffs are still, like, pretty favored. Minus 230 for the betting people at home. So they're still thinking that this team's getting in. So I definitely, it's a good prediction to start us off with. We'll move to your first one, John. What do you got for us?
Yeah, let's keep it in Florida here. Tampa defeats Colorado in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Okay.
So I may have gone a little too specific here with the Game 7.
No, I love it. I love it.
Because, this could easily fall apart if they win in 5 or something. But nevertheless,
We'll give you like half points if that's true.
the spirit of the headline is what matters, right? So here's what I'm thinking. And, this seems like a hot take because Colorado is like on this historic run. They could, run the table. Would anyone be surprised? No. But the way I'm looking at it is that Tampa Bay has been, well, I guess there's two ways to look at it. Tampa Bay has been so impressive in terms of like the injuries on their blue line. I mean, Hedman's been out for most of the year, McDonough most of the year, Chernak for most of the year, and you've got J.J. Moser stepping into the spotlight and being like a legitimate top 2 pair, probably top
Darren
pair.
Radish being like a point per
Darren
game
Radish
guy, right?
putting up points.
One of the most surprising things of the season.
Yeah. So you assume once they get healthy on the blue line, that's a major strength. And I'm thinking towards the playoffs with Vasilevsky. He's looked good this year. Okay, do we see him pull a bunch of rabbits out of a hat like he does most springs? Like this guy is an all-time big game goalie. So you put those two things together with the path that they're going to take. The Atlantic, especially compared to Colorado in the Central, it's night and day. Gauntlet in the Central, the Atlantic, a relative cakewalk. So, when you think about these two teams, let's just say they both sort of march towards the final. Which team is in better shape health-wise? Which team is sort of peaking at the right time? Because there's an argument that, like, the Avalanche, are they peaking too soon? Like, it's possible that they still have tons left in their tank, but also, this President's Trophy teams rarely win the Cup. It's kind of strange in that sense. So I find that Tampa is the best team in the East, and the path is just a lot easier than the West, so that automatically kind of gives them a leg up in my mind.
Wouldn't this final be just
incredible?
Like this would be like the Olympics are obviously probably going to be the highest quality. Like that gold medal game is going to be outrageous, but 7 games of those two teams.
Yeah.
Come on, that's what we dream of.
Well, and two coaches too that are not only really good at what they do, but like they'll talk about it in the press in terms of the storylines and probably try to deflect criticism, and there'll be a lot of sort of like gamesmanship. And you've got like whether it's Kucherov or McKinnon or Makar or Gensel, like some really high level players there.
Okay, let's double down.
Yeah.
Who's scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal?
And who's winning Conn Smythe too? Let's
get it all in here.
Darren Radish game winning
Nice.
Cup winning goal.
Nice.
Conn Smythe. Let's give it to Hedman. Let's say Hedman comes back and goes on a tear.
How about that?
There we
That
go.
would be
So
quite the
we don't
story.
even need to watch any more hockey this
No,
year.
it's over.
We
We
know
got it.
exactly how it ends.
We know Cup champs are missing, and we
Yep.
know who's winning the Cup.
We do.
There you
And you know what? I'm glad that we started with you two and those two takes because I was combing through. I went through our video, but we also had an article go out at the start of the year where we predicted everything, awards,
yes.
playoffs,
Right.
and stuff.
See, this is where I'm worried.
Yeah.
No. Well, I'm just looking at the Stanley Cup Finals here. Kyle has that exact prediction. He's got
Did I really?
Tampa over Colorado?
Tampa over Colorado. John has Colorado over Tampa.
Right. I
So
knew I had both of them. I couldn't remember.
All like 4 or 5 months ago, you actually had this matchup. You just had it the other way. Josh and I, and it's funny that Josh is sitting here telling us the Panthers are going to miss because he had the Avs over the Panthers, as did I.
Yeah, what do I know though?
As did I.
Hey, you know what? It's good to hedge.
You know what? We all had the Avs in the finals. 3 of us had them winning, and you two both had this Lightning Avs matchup. So pretty on the nose with that. Which
I really hope we get that match.
it'd be electric. But no, I like that take there, John. On to our third prediction here. Your first, Kyle. What do you got for us?
Yeah, let's move the timeline up a little bit here.
Okay.
We're talking like end of regular season playoff stuff. We're talking Stanley Cup final, spoiling it for
Yeah,
everybody
whoops.
here. Let's have some fun with some player movement. The Utah Mammoth, they've got a lot of cap space. They've got some room to work with. They can afford a luxury. The Utah Mammoth acquire Steven Stamkos in a deadline day splash. Steven Stamkos at this point in his career is a luxury. He makes $8 million against the cap. There's not a lot of like top tier teams that have that kind of room to spend on a player like him because he has turned past this year as well. Recently, we've seen him kind of find his groove again. I think he has like 14 goals in his last 20 games, something like that. He had that crazy 4-goal game, over a point per game in that recent stretch. So it's not like he's just been like bad all season as well. He's starting to find his groove here. I think at this point, Nashville probably wants to move off of that contract. Stamkos probably wants to play on a more competitive team in the twilight of his career. I think there's a great fit here for Utah where they have the cap space this year and into the future. They can afford a luxury like Stamkos in their lineup. He can help a power play. He can help a young sniper like Dylan Guenther develop as well there. I love the kind of mentorship that he could have there. He doesn't need to play in the top six. He can play on a third line role. I think there's a really intriguing fit there. And on top of that, Utah wants to be aggressive. They want to go out and get some top name talent. You're not going to get that in free agency, at least this season and probably into the future. Why not go out and get a huge name like Steven Stamkos to help your push to try and make the playoffs for the first time in Utah?
I do wonder how Stamkos would fit in Utah because their top six is very skilled and there's not a ton of room for him in there. The bottom six is very like gritty and defensive, and I wonder what kind of fit he would be like in a bottom six
Jack
there.
McBain line.
Would go
Jack
crazy.
McBain is sick.
McBain and Lawson
Don't
Krause
sleep
or
on
something,
Jack
but
McBain.
I'm curious about the fit, but it's fun, and I would love to see Stamkos get moved because I think he can still help a team, even if it's in more of a sheltered role and just power play.
Yeah, I've been thinking about Stamkos in the deadline a little bit, but what has tripped me up is like it feels like a team would have to, Nashville would have to retain salary. But then, okay, if you can find a team like Utah that has
That's my
the open
thought.
space, then
Utah's
it's a
one
lot
of the-
easier to complete. Because does Nashville want to retain salary on an older guy and
Probably not.
it's on their books for a while? Probably not. So I've actually had trouble trying to find a great fit.
There
so
aren't many.
I do like this one, although. In contrast, we talk about Barry Trotz on the show every once in a while, and I feel like he probably looks at what the Predators have done recently, and one, gets excited, and two, looks at that Stamkos has been a real driver and go, this guy's part of the solution, right? So I don't know if I trust Barry Trotz in terms of the long-term thinking because he just hasn't shown that
Probably could have
he has
just
a great
said
plan.
you don't trust Barry Trotz.
Yeah.
Just stop right there, yeah. So,
As a GM specifically.
What do you think?
As a coach. Good
What do
coach.
you think Utah would send out?
Yeah, the fascinating part here is what the trade package kind of would look like because I think he's a negative asset probably at $8 million because of the term after
That's
this
rough.
year. So, like, what would it take? I'm thinking like a second-round pick and like a B prospect.
Yeah.
Given his current form, probably you have to pay to get him on the roster at this point. Earlier in the season, I have no clue what it was going to be. But yeah, this is a trade that I could see being like way bigger than that because of whatever value that Stamkos might still have around the league. But I think at this point it's probably lowered to the point where Nashville getting off the money, Utah taking on the full contract has a bit of a reduced price.
I do think too. It's worth noting. Like, is it Ryan Smith their owner there?
Yep.
A guy who wants to make a splash. Like,
Exactly.
He's come out and said that they're hosting the
Outdoor game.
the Winter
it's gonna be
Classic.
good.
I'm sure he really made a drive for that. He's a guy who would do a move like this, or at least
Well,
try
when Utah
and
came in,
orchestrate
Stamkos
one.
was a free agent, and there was talk that the Utah Hockey Club were going to make a push to try and bring him in.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like that one a lot. I think that'd be a really fun fit. It's
I hope
funny.
we see Stamkos move to a more competitive.
Yes.
It's
I
a
agree.
cool fit because there's the mentorship part and then there's like the competitive part. So for him, it's like
I think it ticks
it's a
a
pretty
lot of
good like
boxes.
last few years of his career.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're 3 headlines in, 3 more to go. We're going back to you, Josh. Your second headline from the future. I know which one this is, and I'm excited to hear it. Please tell us.
So I'm looking a little even further into the future, just past the end of the regular season. I'm looking at free agency, and I'm going to predict that Artemi Panarin heads back to the Windy City, reunites with the
nice.
Chicago Blackhawks for a second stint. Look, the Blackhawks have so much cap space this offseason. Even though Bedard needs a new contract, they're still going to have boatloads of cap space. Panarin, all things considered, seemed like he liked his time in Chicago.
Yeah.
There he could come back to the Blackhawks, be a legit running mate for Connor Bedard, someone who can set him up on a platter, give him a legit guy to play with. And I think the Blackhawks could be willing to go really high AAV and low term, like a 2-year deal approaching $30 million total, like close to 15 mil AAV. They have the cap space for that. It's high risk, low reward. I think it would be really fun.
Yeah, the term is the thing with me. Like if they're not going with a long-term deal, I think I like the fit in terms of like infusing the lineup with a guy who's just going to produce. I mean, he produces every year. He turns 35 before next season, so that's where the hesitation comes in. I wonder, like from his perspective, is he looking for a long-term deal, or is he looking for a short-term deal? And if it was short-term, he might be looking for a cup contender, right? So it's kind of one of those things where it'd be great to be in Artemi Panarin's head and try to figure out what he wants. Maybe he wants the most money. Okay, so you do term and a spot that can fork over the cash, right? So
I think he's also a pretty confident guy who might be willing to know I have more than 2 years left in the tank, but I'm going to maximize my earnings for these 2 years.
Yep.
I mean, again, we're totally speculating on what's going on inside his
need to bring him
head.
in.
But the whole free agent class, most of them have already signed extensions.
yeah, there's nothing left.
At this point, he could be that top dog and really dictate where he wants to go. I don't know if he'll end up re-signing with the Rangers if he stays there past the deadline. That's also a big if, because the Rangers are spiraling a little bit. Fox is on LTIR.
A little bit. It
hurt.
seems like it's going quickly now.
I could see him getting moved at the deadline. I don't know a good spot for him deadline-wise. Maybe Carolina, but
yeah, 11-6 is a tough one to bring
when
in.
it gets to the offseason, I could definitely see him leaving New York.
Yeah, first and foremost, great job to the production team for that great jersey swap. It looks like a real photo
That does
right
look
there.
really real.
They
even made Panarin look younger somehow.
Yeah.
He has a different number on.
Yeah, weird. I think that's Reebok jersey as well. It's a nice prediction for the future. When it comes to Panarin, I think it's an intriguing fit on the ice, just to try to boost the team in kind of a short term. I think my one hesitation is, I think this management team really wants a new era for Chicago. Like, they moved off of Taves, they moved off of Kane. They didn't necessarily have to do that. They could have kept those guys with Bedard coming in and kind of had this kind of like Lemieux, Crosby-esque transition. Yep. They went away from that, and I wonder if they want to avoid bringing back a former Blackhawk that had such a significant role in previous teams, or if they would be willing to bring him back because of the intriguing fit on the ice.
Yeah, it's a good one.
To be fair, I think it was Bowman who traded away Panarin. The current regime probably has no ties to him and just looks at a
there's no
good
ties
player
at
to
all.
bring
But
in,
I do wonder about like the past eras of Blackhawks hockey.
Yeah, it's a good point. They're going to bring back Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves too. Just
why not
reunite everyone? Maybe get Brendan Saad back in the mix. Would be fun.
There's always one more Brandon Saad reunion.
Okay, I like it a lot, John. We're gonna like this one a lot too. Headline from the future. Please tell us your second pick here.
Celebrini joins Crosby and Gretzky as the only teenage Hart winners of all time.
Whew. Wow.
So I want to anchor this conversation with
I can see it.
Right now there's Nathan McKinnon, there's Connor McDavid, there's Macklin Celebrini, and depending on your sort of how much you want to get in the dark horses, Nikita Kucherov in terms of like the Hart contenders. Where my mind goes with this is, one, if I were to vote today, I'd be really stressing out over, is it McKinnon or is it Celebrini? Like, I think it's close enough at this point that it's definitely like a conversation for that number one spot. But obviously this is a projection, right? So Celebrini has 49% he's gotten a point on 49% of San Jose's goals. That's a crazy high number.
Ridiculous.
He has 67 points. The next closest teammate, Alex Wenberg, 30 points. Like, he's driving this team. He has 11 out of his 43 games. He has 3 or more points in those games. Like, it's literally a quarter of a season. He's just going off. So I feel like, what it will come down to in terms of like who's voting for this, the Professional Hockey Writers Association, it'll come down to like how much weight are you putting in most valuable versus best player. Because I think right now Nathan McKinnon is, you can argue with McDavid as well, but like they are better players than Celebrini. But Celebrini, I think the value case is pretty high. Like if you take him off the Sharks, who are, and I think the first wild card right now, I think they're probably a bottom 5 team.
Yeah.
You take McKinnon off of the Avalanche, they're probably still one of the top 3 Central teams.
Yeah.
At worst, they make the playoffs as a wild card. And then obviously we know how valuable McDavid is to the Oilers, so that's a tough one. But again, back to the teammates. McDavid has Draisaitl, McKinnon has Makar, and then if you go to Kucherov, he's got Gensel, he's got Hagel, he's got Point. Like, they have a ton of help. And the Sharks aren't like supposed to even be in the conversation for the playoffs at this point. So I feel like it's going to come down to, do they make the playoffs, or at least get really close to the playoffs for voters to really buy into the Celebrini narrative? But at the end of the day, like, it's a narrative award. It's humans making these decisions, and they get excited about this flashy kid, this shiny new toy who has just taken over the NHL.
That's what I wanted to ask you firsthand, is like, go into the mind of a voter, how much of this is impacted by the fact that he's 19 years old.
And
like,
John, you are a voter. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm
John
curious,
is a voter. Yes, we're
I'm
in the mind
curious,
of a voter right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the age, I guess, factors in a little bit, like in terms of the impressive nature of
Yeah,
it.
like if he finishes the season 10 less points than Nathan McKinnon, we'll say, but like still gaudy numbers.
But the value's still there in terms of compared to
The
his
value's
teammates?
still there, and he's 19, and Nathan McKinnon's what?
He's 30.
30, like in his prime. I just think that should like contribute.
It makes
to
it more
a little bit.
impressive. I don't know
Yeah.
if it like is at the top of my list or near the top of the list in
Yeah.
terms of factors, but it adds to his case in terms of like
Yeah.
this guy's only 100 and whatever 15 games into his career and
And
look what he's doing.
this.
The craziest thing about Celebrini right now is that there's so much substance in his game. Like, I'm trying to think of a like ridiculous comparable. Like, remember when Chichu went off for like 50 goals? Like, no one was going, "Wow, Jonathan Chichu, what an elite goal scorer!"
What a stray.
Yeah,
Everyone's going,
sorry,
Joe
Chichu.
Thornton, what a great passer.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like with Celebrini, it's like, yeah, this is him. He's already a top 10 player in the world, and he's a sophomore. Like,
Yeah.
there's no like sort of like discussion there.
He's kind of, I don't want to call him just a one-man show because they have other like good players, but he just takes that team over by himself. You saw it last night. Scores the
Yeah.
late equalizer to send it to OT, and then in OT, he strips the Kings of the puck, goes down the ice, sets up Eklund's OT winner. Like just doing it all, both ends of the
He's
ice.
such an assertive player. Like you've got McKinnon, who is like the definition of an assertive player, like just a violent skater and like crazy kind of energy.
Looks like a running back.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's just like an insane player in so many ways. But Celebrini is sort of like a unique player in terms of how often he's impacting the play offensively in transition, offensively, where, you know, we talk about passengers in the NHL, like, oh, you've got a guy on the top line, but he's clearly the third guy.
Yeah.
It's like Celebrini is the extreme of that, where like
The conductor.
on his line, he is like driving play to such an extreme degree. And it's just such a pleasure to watch because like, you know, the underlying numbers haven't really caught up to like how good he is because I think his teammates aren't good enough.
Yes.
Like I think he's trying to do a lot of things and that leads to turnovers. It leads to like maybe, you know, a high event game that doesn't look good if you look at, you know, expected goals, Corsi, et cetera. But like I'm just blown away with this kid. And it's the environment. It's the how valuable are you to your team where he's right there. Like I just think if you think about going forward, right? Like do the Avs hit a wall in some way? Not in terms of like a bunch of losses, but just sort of like, okay, let's go into cruise control because we got to save ourselves for the playoffs. The Sharks can't avoid cruise control.
Yeah.
So I assume Celebrini's just going to continue down this path.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, if the Sharks make the playoffs, I think the case is pretty obvious for Celebrini. What do you think the case would look like if the Sharks don't make the playoffs for Celebrini getting it over a McKinnon on the top team in the league?
Yeah, it's tough because I feel like you shouldn't completely exclude a player just because his team misses the playoffs by a couple points. It's like, are we really just going to throw out that case? But if they end up like bottom 10 in the league or something, it's like, okay, he brought a lot of value, but how like meaningful was that value? It's kind of hard to articulate, but I feel like, you know, say Pasternak, what he's done for the Bruins over the last few years. It's like, how important are those points and everything if the team isn't winning games? But to answer your question, it's like if they're around the playoff hunt, like in a meaningful way, last week of the season, they're 2 points behind.
Even further, honestly. Like, the
Yeah.
Sharks were expected to be, like,
Yes.
32 again.
I think if they miss the playoffs, though, he's going to have like crazy individual
Right.
numbers where maybe he leads the league in points. Like,
Sure.
I don't think he's winning the Hart if they miss the playoffs and McKinnon or McDavid have more points.
Yeah, like I probably have a different perspective than most voters. Like I think most voters out of the playoffs, sorry, maybe you'll be third on my Hart list, but like
Yeah.
you're not in the conversation for one. Whereas have a little more flexibility there. So to Josh's point, like if they miss the playoffs, he might have to have these like really gaudy numbers to kind of convince people to come over to the other side.
What was the year Connor McDavid missed the playoffs and he wasn't
It
even
was
in the
was
conversation?
that the Hall McDavid Hart Trophy or something like that?
I think that was a different year.
He
I
had an
wanna say.
awesome campaign, missed the playoffs, and he
Yeah.
himself, he's like, I don't deserve that trophy. We're not in the playoffs. So I would hate to see it kind of end that way for Celebrini, but I could see it end that way based on the precedent that's been set.
And how
But
about
I'll
the
say
fact that it's like the only other guys to do it as a teenager are literally Sidney Crosby and Wayne
insane.
Gretzky. I
Yeah.
feel like we kind of glossed
Yeah.
over that fact. Like, that is insane. Like, you do that, you are capital G generational.
Yes, decent company. All right, we got one prediction left, one headline from the future left, and it comes from you, Kyle. Please, can we hear it? What is it going to be?
Yeah, save the best for last.
Yeah.
Of course, the center of the universe, the Toronto Maple Leafs, make the playoffs on the penultimate
Oh
day
my
of the
gosh,
season. The Maple
Love
Leafs
it.
are turning things around. We got Austin Matthews back. He's scoring goals. He's the franchise's all-time goals leader. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw like the graphic of like all the other original 6 franchise leaders. all of them like bucket list, like grainy photos, and then you have Matthews pristine 4K HD, which is very tough for the Maple Leafs just on the perspective of like all those franchise greats, and then the Leafs are like, yeah, we had 420 goals, like that's pretty good. But the fact that like Matthews has done it before age 30 and everything is insane, and he's finding his groove again. He's that two-way force again. Obviously, bad timing for Team Canada that he's doing that, but great for the Maple Leafs where they really needed this surge. And they've still kind of kept close enough. I know there's a lot of teams in the mix in the East. So I think this kind of thing is going to go right down to the final days of the season. It's penultimate day of the season because that's the last day for the Eastern Conference. The Leafs facing the Ottawa Senators, obviously the team that they went and beat in the first round last year, a significant rival over the course of the season. When you look about the jockeying for position in the standings, I think the Leafs are going to be in that dogfight all season long. There's going to be some more ups, there's going to be some more downs, but I think come the end of the regular season, the Leafs are going to win their way into the season or into the playoffs on the penultimate day of the campaign.
I think it's being glossed over a little bit. When Mark Savard got fired, everyone's like, "Oh, this is such a half measure. This doesn't do anything." And
different.
Since then, I think they're 6-0-2 or 5-0-2 or
Yeah,
something.
5-0-2 in their last stretch.
What he
here.
was doing. there.
Crazy. Yeah, it's like
Steve Sullivan, the hero.
Steve Sullivan.
His first
the secret
game, they
recipe.
score what, two power play
power play
goals?
goals, yeah.
He's like, yeah, it was all me.
It's like obviously Sullivan's not making that big of a difference immediately, but hey, it's just sometimes that's the way it goes, right?
Sometimes you just need a shakeup like that, right? Like, it's a significant enough move where it shakes up the locker room. It kind of puts people on notice that it's not just the outside noise now. Like, we're actually making some moves here. It's not the significant move where, like, a head coach is completely gone or a major player is traded or there's a new manager or anything like that. But I think it's enough of a shot at the group and at the team where it could make a legitimate change that we've seen recently here. So I think the entire season, everyone has kind of thought the Maple Leafs are talented enough to still be a playoff team. More forward depth, obviously some big question marks on defense. The health has been a big factor as well. But I think the way that they're starting to figure things out right now has me with enough faith that versus the other teams that they're competing with for kind of those wild card spots, the Leafs are going to win their way in at the end of the regular season.
I think the backbone of this team this year too has been the goaltending. I mean, Wool's been really good since getting healthy again. Hildeby has been awesome since coming back up, and that's something a lot of teams in the division that they're battling with. Like we mentioned, the Panthers, Bobrovsky having a rough year. That's something these other teams don't have the luxury of.
And hopefully Stolarz comes out of witness protection at some point. So.
I love that you use penultimate, though. Anyone watching or listening that doesn't know what that word is, I had to think about it. I knew what it was, but I had to double check before. It is the second last day.
There we go.
John, isn't senior writer in like your title?
Senior
I love
writer.
that.
But it's
John
a
Matisz.
great word, penultimate.
It is a great
Penultimate.
word.
Anytime you hear
Playoffs,
penultimate,
penultimate, get some
Penultimate.
alliteration in there.
Love
it means big things. And for anyone who wants to verify that this is indeed a bold take, again, I've gone to the betting odds here. The Leafs to make the playoffs, you can almost get at 3-1 odds, plus 185 right now, which is a bit shocking.
Imagine hating on the Leafs. I would never do that on this show.
I think there's something cinematic, like I mentioned off the top. Aiden's hot take was the Leafs are in the wild card. Kyle's hot take is the Leafs probably in the wild card too. Completely different spectrum.
Which is funny because at the time I was like, the Leafs are obviously a playoff team.
Exactly. So you guys can both cash in on that. I love it. I love it. These are some very fun, exciting, bold headlines. Again, I cannot wait to look back
And all
at
of them are
these.
coming true.
Yes.
They're all coming true. I'm fired up for the episode where we get to look at these because as it currently stands, like I feel great about all these for you guys. So good for you. We've got
Yeah, give it a week.
We'll give it a yeah. Well, it'll be the Juicy Sorrows incident again. One more thing before we get out of here. We're running it back to trivia. We haven't done this in a little bit, so this is Top Shelf Trivia presented by Enterprise. We've been looking ahead all episode. I want to flip it back. We've done this exercise before where you take a sample size that's not a season, it's a calendar year.
Ooh.
So, as we're talking about 2026 here, let's flip back to 2025. I want you guys to try and tell me the top 10 goal scorers
This is fun.
from the year 2025. Whoever gets the most wins. We will start with you, Josh. Who do you have first off this list?
I think David Pasternak's got to be on there somewhere.
David Pasternak does have to be on there somewhere. He is at 4. Fourth on the list with 47. On to you, John.
I'm going to go with his teammate, Morgan Geekie. He's either first or second.
Morgan Geekie is second on this list. I think he was first as of Christmas, and then
Someone else.
I love that
jumped
we're
in there.
ripping Morgan Geekie in the first.
I was gonna say there are some very fun names on this list.
Ooh,
I'll tell
okay.
you that.
That's good to know.
It's quite the list that you'll see. I don't know if we'll ever have some of these names together ever again. Kyle,
Okay.
third pick here. Who do you got?
Okay, well, let's keep that together because Morgan Geekie and Nathan McKinnon are probably never getting put together again.
That's correct. Nathan McKinnon is the first guy off the board here. 52 goals for him.
Oh, wow. There you go.
Just ahead of Morgan Geekie. You got 3 of the top 4 with 6 guys to go, or 7 guys to go. Sorry, Josh. Next pick.
Leon Draisaitl.
Leon Draisaitl's here.
my pick.
He's at 6. He had 45 in the year 2025. Mind you, too, this is not including playoffs. I probably should have mentioned that.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes.
I thought it
without
might have been
saying a
assumed
little
because, Morgan Geekie can't score in the playoffs if he's not playing the playoffs.
bit.
But
Wow. Playoff hater Morgan Geekie.
sorry, Morgan Geekie, but Leon Draisaitl is on the list. 2 for Josh, 1 for you guys.
Tage Thompson.
Tage Thompson's here as well.
Nice.
Nice. Very nicely done. So you guys have 5 of the top 6 now. You're missing number 3, but you have the rest of the board with a few guys to go here. Kyle, who do you have?
This one might be risky, but I'm playing into the storyline of it. Alexander Ovechkin.
Alex Ovechkin is
Nice.
here. He is 10th.
Just got in.
Last guy on the
Okay.
list is Ovi. I mean, he's still doing
He
it.
went on such a tear.
At the end
Yeah.
of last
Imagine
season.
that, like the year 2025, Alex Ovechkin is top 10 in goals.
That's
insane.
No one could have predicted that.
40-year-old.
So awesome to see. It was the year of Alex Ovechkin, to be honest.
How many we got left?
You
here
guys
going
each
into this
have
round?
2. You've got 4 left here. Nobody's made a mistake
Yeah, that's pretty
yet.
good.
We'll see what you got here, Josh.
I know he was hurt a bit last year, and this year hasn't been amazing, but Austin Matthews got to be on there, no?
Austin Matthews is not.
Wow.
First miss. There's no Matthews. I'm sure. I mean, the cutoff was 42. I'm sure he's probably close to
I had a couple
That's
guys in mind, and I
crazy.
wanted to go down with Matthews.
no
but
Matthews. He went down with the ship. John for the lead.
Jason Robertson.
Robertson 3.
Whoa, all the way up at 3.
Jason Robertson, 49
Huge year.
goals in 2025. Look at us. I mean, the American Olympic team is always underrating him, and so are you guys.
There you
No
go.
kidding.
He's the 7th guy off the board here, but Jason Robertson had 49 goals last year. Kyle, do you have an answer?
Have we said Connor McDavid?
We have not said Connor McDavid. He's not here.
Wow.
No
Okay.
McDavid. No Matthews, no McDavid. Those are the 2 misses that we have so far.
John pulls ahead.
John pulls ahead. You got 3 guys left. John's at 3. You guys are at 2. Another stab at it, Josh.
Mark Scheifele?
Mark Scheifele's not on the board.
What
Not
about
on
his
the
teammate?
board.
Cole Caulfield.
Cole Caulfield not on the board
Oh,
either.
come on.
I am going the teammate Kyle Connor.
Kyle Connor's not there either.
Oh,
Okay.
he all struck out.
An 0
So
for round.
we got 3 left, and we just went over.
Yeah, 3
Okay.
left. You got 7, 8, and 9, and again, like I mentioned, the collection of these last 3
Some
players
weird
here.
names.
Jake Gensel?
Jake Gensel's not here, but I like the train of thought. It's that vein of player, not on the Lightning or
Ooh.
anything.
Oh, okay, not on
no,
Lightning.
no,
Thank you
I
for
won't.
saving me.
It's just like that echelon of players. At least
Echelon
one of these
player.
guys, I'd say.
Interesting.
Not like a mainstay on the Hart Trophy conversations and stuff.
Oh man. This is tough. You know what? Let's go with Macklin Celebrini.
Macklin Celebrini, he's not here.
Oh.
He's not here. Kyle?
Martin Natchez.
Marty Nature's not here either. Another
Okay.
0 for round. I think I'll give you
this
guys.
probably last
I
round.
was gonna say, I'll give you guys
Last
one
round.
guess each left, and we'll tally up. the
John's
votes.
ahead.
You sort of mentioned it, but I don't know if anyone actually made it as a pick. Kyle Connor?
Kyle,
I did, yeah.
You did.
Oh, you did say
can
Kyle
go again.
Connor?
can
I'll
go
give you a
again.
repick.
Yeah.
Oof. Mikko Rantanen?
No Mikko
Oh, I've got a
Rantanen.
good one.
Wow.
Adrian Kempe.
No Adrian
Ah.
Kempe. Last pick.
So
to tie it up.
I got a tie. Who could it possibly be?
Oh, I got a good one.
It's not. It's not going to be him, but I'm just going to say Connor Bedard.
It is not
It's not.
Connor Bedard.
Can I throw another
Yeah,
one?
throw
I
one
know we're
out.
done.
You've already
Throw one more
one.
Jack Eichel.
No, not Jack Eichel either.
Who are
Can't
these
believe it.
guys?
Nylander.
Give you that to put on,
Oh,
not
Willie
Nylander.
Nylander.
John gets his chain.
Congrats, John. Finally, I
The
was
3
warned.
guys
Very
left.
fine.
7, 8, and 9. 7, Wyatt Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
8, Sidney Crosby.
Oh my
I
God.
missed
That's
it.
incredible, though.
I-
Wow.
Crosby and Ovi on this list, and then 9 is Alex DeBrincat.
Wow.
Believe it or not.
Okay.
So
Lots of
quite
Team
the
USA
list.
snubs on this.
You
one.
got
Yeah.
Sidney
Can't believe I
Crosby,
didn't say Sid.
you got Ovi, and you got Morgan Geekie all in the same
We
list.
should all be
I don't know
ashamed.
if we've
Yeah,
ever seen
that's-
that
I had
before.
Sid come in, and then I was like, McDavid hasn't been said.
But yeah, nicely done. It was a
Good
great
win,
year.
John.
Great
Yeah,
year.
nicely done.
Thank
A
you.
lot of goals scored in 2025, especially for these guys. Curious to see how that looks. That list looks.
Also,
next
Matthews
year.
number 1.
I'm sure we'll see Matthews. I'm sure we'll see Celebrini. We'll see some names that you guys thought were on this one. So a lot of fun there. Good to get the trivia back. That's all we have for today's episode. Enjoyed this one a lot. Thank you for the fellas for these bold predictions. We're going to be back next Tuesday as the usual regularly scheduled programming, But for now, for everyone who's helped out, as always, thank you so much. This has been Top Shelf presented by Enterprise.